In the previous part, we saw how cosmic forces, gods, and ancient powers shaped the universe. In this video, we are going back to the years 1943 to 1945, the middle of World War II. This is a time before superheroes existed. Nations were fighting for survival, secret experiments were underway, and powerful weapons were being created behind closed doors. This is where the first hero of this universe is born. Chapter 1. A World at War. In the 1940s, the world was locked in a global war that involved nearly every country on Earth. Millions of lives were lost as nations raced to build stronger weapons and gain any advantage possible. During this chaos, a mysterious glowing cube was uncovered, an object with the power to bend space itself, the Tesseract. A secret group formed around this discovery, Hydra, a militant organization that believed advanced power should rule the world. It was led by a man who sacrificed his humanity in pursuit of that power. As governments realized what was happening, they understood the war was changing into something far more dangerous. Meanwhile, in New York, a physically weak but determined young man kept trying to enlist to fight. His name was Steve Rogers, and he believed doing the right thing mattered more than being strong. Chapter 2. A Soldier is Created. As the war escalated, the military searched for a way to create stronger soldiers without losing control. One scientist believed strength alone was dangerous, and that character mattered more than power. He chose Steve Rogers not because he was strong, but because he was compassionate, selfless, and brave. Steve was placed into an experimental machine designed to enhance the human body beyond its limits. The process succeeded. Steve's body was transformed into the peak of human potential. But moments later, the scientist was killed, and the formula was lost forever. With no way to recreate the process, Steve became the only one of his kind. He had the power to fight, but the world hadn't yet decided how to use him. Chapter 3. A Symbol is Born. After the experiment, the military faced a problem. They had created a powerful soldier, but didn't want to risk him on the battlefield. Instead, they turned him into a symbol, a character used to boost morale and sell war bonds. Steve played the role, but he knew he wasn't helping where it mattered most. When he learned that real soldiers were being captured behind enemy lines, he made a choice. Without orders or backup, Steve went in alone to rescue them. He succeeded, proving he wasn't just a symbol, he was a soldier. And that night, Captain America was truly born. Chapter 4. A Team is Forged. After his rescue mission, Steve returned with captured Allied soldiers, trained men who had been fighting the war long before him. These soldiers didn't see him as a symbol anymore. They saw him as someone who risked his life for them. They came from different units, countries, and skills, all part of the Allied army. Together, they trained, planned, and carried out missions behind enemy lines. Steve didn't fight like other soldiers. He protected his team first, using defense and coordination. They targeted secret enemy facilities that were building advanced weapons powered by the glowing cube. Each mission strengthened their trust, not as heroes, but as soldiers relying on one another. This wasn't an army of superheroes. It was a unit, and Steve was their leader. Chapter 5. The Enemy Behind the War. The war wasn't being fought by armies alone. Hidden within the enemy forces was a secret organization called Hydra, a group that believed power should rule the world. They weren't loyal to any country. They used stolen science and ancient energy to build weapons far ahead of their time. Hydra was led by Johann Schmidt, a man obsessed with becoming more than human. He experimented on himself, gained enhanced strength, and lost his humanity in the process. Using the glowing cube as a power source, he planned to reshape the world under Hydra's control. This wasn't about winning the war, it was about ruling whatever survived it. And Steve realized something terrifying. Stopping Hydra mattered more than ending the war itself. Chapter 6. Friendship, Loyalty, and Loss. Before the war, before the serum, Steve Rogers had one constant in his life. James "Bucky" Barnes was his best friend, stronger, confident, and always standing up for him. When the war began, Bucky was able to enlist immediately. Steve was left behind. Later, they reunited on the battlefield, now fighting the same war from different paths. During a dangerous mission to stop the enemy, the team was ambushed high above the ground. In the chaos, Bucky fell, disappearing into the darkness below. No body was found, no answers came. Steve kept fighting, carrying the weight of losing the one person who believed in him first. Chapter 7. Allies Behind the Lines. Battles aren't won by strength alone. They're won by information, planning, and timing. Peggy Carter was an intelligence officer, someone who gathered information, planned missions, and kept soldiers alive. She didn't fight on the front lines, but every successful mission depended on her decisions. Howard Stark was an inventor and engineer. His job was to design weapons, vehicles, and equipment for the war. He turned ideas into tools, giving soldiers advantages they wouldn't otherwise have. Together, they equipped Steve with custom gear, including a shield designed to protect rather than destroy. With intelligence, technology, and leadership aligned, the final phase of the war began. In the middle of war, there were moments like this. No plans, no orders, just two people wondering what tomorrow would cost them. Chapter 8. The Final Mission. As the war neared its end, the enemy made one final move. The leader of the secret organization planned to launch weapons across the world, not to win the war, but to control what came after it. To stop this, Steve volunteered for a mission no one else could survive. He fought his way through the ship, knowing there would be no rescue if something went wrong. The glowing cube reacted violently, unleashing forces neither side truly understood. With the aircraft damaged and falling, Steve made a final decision. He chose to sacrifice his life to save millions of others. The war ended, Captain America was lost, and the world moved on. Between 1943 and 1945, the world survived a war that changed history. One man gave up his future to stop a threat no one else could. The war ended, the enemy was defeated, and the hero vanished. In the next part, we move forward to a world rebuilding after the war, unaware that its first hero did not die. He was only lost to time, and we will see what happens when the past refuses to stay buried.